Okay, some things happen, but right now I'm at I had to start over the video. I'm at the Etowah Native Indigenous Aboriginal mounds. So, and that's over in Georgia, Cartersville, Georgia. And people they don't know this, but there's other mounds in the U.S. that correlates, and they all had a system. By me visiting other mounds around, different mounds, they were damn near family, just disconnected by space. Okay, just like you can say, the Kemetans or the Egyptians were family with the Ethiopians or the Nubians. They were just cousins, just in different spaces. Okay, so I'm gonna walk across this mountain, walk around this mound, doing a circle. But I got something planned. Today is a powerful day. As you can see and tell, there's no fake clouds above me for the day. They're just around the area. As you can see in the far distance, there's mountains around this area too. So this is and was indigenous area to highly melanated people, you know. So they'll tell you it was another person growing up, so you don't feel like this is something that belongs to you. Okay, you see, as you can see, that reddish orangish dirt right there. So that reddish orangish dirt, from being from one part of the hemisphere, the world, to another part of the world, that means everything happened and transpired for a reason. We had to be taken from one part of the world and put to another part of the world. We was already at one part of the world, but a certain type of people had to be transported from one part of the world to another part of the world in order to make the change. So a lot of people be like, oh, what you mean? That's fucked up. What the shit they did to us was fucked up. Yeah, in a sense it was fucked up. But that was to make us stronger and to bring out the best version of ourselves. Because our ancestors already knew this was going to happen before all that even happened or transpired. So they set up this, your universities in Europe. The Moors did, which is our actual ancestors. More, they like to separate things, but we're all one. So if our ancestors already knew this, so they were master planners. So they say Allah is the best planner. You know what I'm saying? ALLAH. Arm, leg, arm, and head. So we planned this. We already knew this was going to happen. We were going to go through something. So we had to really dig deep inside of ourselves to actually have these motherfuckers. We have to trick these motherfuckers for us to go through some bullshit, for us to get to where we needed to be to come to our mass power. So right here, as you see, Etowah's past, present, and future. See, this is where Etowah's chief had the power to make war or peace. He distributed stored food to his people from the public granary in times of need or famine, and could solicit tribute from outlying villages he also controlled. The Etowah River Valley was once filled with small farmsteads. The chief lived with his family on the mound in a large house made from wattle, interwoven twigs or branches, and daub, clay-based plaster. And you know what's so crazy? I was up here a few months ago, maybe over a year ago, and the crazy thing is, well, I'm not even gonna get into that, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, and I didn't realize something I just realized just now. So everything isn't for everybody, but I'm sharing something right now. So reason why I'm here actually today is a a powerful day. As I said, see the clouds on the outside of the actual Edawasi. This is all ours, but as you can see, there's industrious far ahead, and these are actual mountains around. So there's a red top mountain. I can see the mountain in the far distance right there. I can see red dirt around that area too, also on the mountain. You can't really see it from when you at, but I can see it from where I'm at. I got I've been gifted with great eyes. So but yeah, but reason why I'm doing this on this day, or here on this day, 555, stay well balanced. I say is because today is June the 30th. So you like June the 30th, what does that have to do? That's not even a holiday in America. Oh, okay. But remember, everything was all one landmass and everything was planned and plotted. So actually, June the 30th, 1520, ancestors showed me something a few days ago when I was actually reading something months, like maybe like give or take about 3-4 months ago, maybe. I was reading something in this book, and it was giving me insight on Cortez and how he overtook the Aztecs. And I had just watched this movie called El Dorado, so it's a cartoon by Disney named El Dorado like 2 days ago, and I realized something. So something told me about 5,000 years ago, and check something 5,000 years. Come to find out, on this very exact day that I'm actually standing here, June 30th, Montezuma Montezuma II, the last Aztec emperor, was killed, and Cortez at the time was leading of the Spanish people. Conquistadors, conqueror. He had overtook Mexico, or the Aztec people, and took a lot of their gold on that day. So, but they said in a book, I'm going to actually pull that book out and read it maybe a little later if I have time. But they were saying how, let's see, on this very day, Montezuma II was killed. So if he was killed, that means that was already predestined to happen. So they said he would come from the east. So in the eastern hemisphere, what is shall be, which is Kemet or Egypt. And mounds are pyramids. So you got pyramids all over the world. So they'll just tell you it's in Kemet. So they tell you, if we place them all over the world, that means our people are all over the world. They're just showing you the pyramid is the mind. Okay? So, with all that, now, they said they knew Quetzalcoatl would come from where? The east. And they knew Cortez came from where? The east. And they thought that he would be doing the damage that Quetzalcoatl was going to be doing. And they revered him as such, because he came from the east, and he had these guns. When they shot off, it was like thunder, like as in a deity or a god would do. So, Lakshmi, 9/11, 6/11, Lakshmi. So, with that, so if he took out the people that actually took over our land with the Olmec people in Veracruz is where the Olmecs were, and La Venta, Veracruz and La Venta, or statehoods, you'll find the Olmec heads out in Mexico. Okay. All right, let's keep it going. I'm going to pause it to save on time. All right, now we're up at structure 3. I'm going to visit each mound here, and I'll take you somewhere. I've been before here. And that the first mound I was on, that's the side of it right there. I'm not gonna walk up it because we was already on it. All right. Atomic, no time for calm shit. We hyperactive in this time in Vietnam did. Yeah, shout out to Prodigy. You know, he kind of helped. He very much helped spark me with information years ago. So shout out Ashe. Shout out to Tupac, Amaru Shakur. Ashe. Shout out to Pimp C. People don't realize he had information too. Ashe. Shout out to MF Doom. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, let me get back to it. Those are very powerful brothers to me that came with information. You know, they gave me something in the music, and I'm able to use. I was able to propel from where I was at to get to where I need to help get to where I need to be. I'm not even there fully yet. I'm still growing, still expanding. Let me get back to what I was here for. So yeah. So Quetzalcoatl, he said he would return one day. One day he will return. And it's June the 30th, 2020. That's exactly 5,000 years to the day. And they say epochs happen what? Every 5,000 years. And they have a cosmic epoch is 25,000 years. So that's 5 actual epochs. So, and now they said everything happens in time spans. So keeping up with the time, this is actually a day that most people are not even thinking about. But the answers sent me something. When you pay attention, you see things that others don't get to see because they're actually speaking through you and they're working through you. These are only physical vessels on the imaginary plane. Okay? Now let's keep going. Go to the next one. All right. So I came here in order to bring order to chaos. I am walking chaos, moving chaos. So if I'm bringing order, I must destroy what's around me. Okay? So if Montezuma, the last Aztec emperor, was killed on this day, what that means is bring you up to speed, or you see things from where I see it. If he's killed on that day, or this day 5,000 years ago, then what I'm doing is actually venerating Quetzalcoatl in a new form. And Quetzalcoatl is powerful. And they had to trick him in order to have him leave the first time. So now the tricks won't even work. The illusion doesn't work anymore. So the illusion doesn't work. That means I can see right through your bullshit. If I can see right through your bullshit, you can't change this. So that's what Cortez was sent here for. So guess what? Cortez is what? Spain. He's from Spain, right? And the Moors were where in Europe? Spain. They taught them Spanish. So if the Moors, melanated people, highly dark melanated people, taught them Spanish, if he taught them Spanish, and they ousted the Moors by what, like 1492, and it's what, 1520? That's damn near what, 30 years, 28 years later. They ousted the Moors out of Spain and Europe around that 1490s. So they decided to leave and come over to the West. That means, in all actuality, and they taught the Aztecs or the people from Mexico Spanish. That means we had to teach them Spanish, but in a new skin, another form of skin, because they were shit in the streets, pissing in the streets, all kind of BS over in Europe. They were some of the worst and sickest people ever. But I come to find out, now this is very, very important. In 1520, the same year, in March March, I think the 6th or 30th, the exact date. You can find this online too. Also, I looked up dates 15, 20, and they gave me a complete list. And Mexico, now listen, you gotta listen to this. You gotta put 1 plus 1 together and 2 plus 2 together. So, in all honesty and actuality, if they said close to maybe 6 to 8 million Mexicans died due to smallpox. So, a few months before Cortez came, they had smallpox. That means they've been weakened. That means someone had to bring something around them that made them sick. A year was March the 3rd, I believe, of 1520. So around the same time of what day? What day all this virus shit start happening, right? Everything happens in intervals, time intervals. These motherfuckers that supposedly so-called run this land, this world, they already know this, but they have to keep this away from us. But the ancestors cannot be denied. When they find a vessel to work through, it's not just one. They will work through that vessel. This is the third mine we're on. I'm over here talking. I'm just walking around and talking. So this vessel, they'll walk through work through a vessel. And that's just the ancestors. You see a physical person, like, you crazy. Yeah, I'm crazy as a fox, motherfucker. Or that person's crazy as a fox. Slick and thoughtful and will devour. So, Quetzalcoatl is here. You know what I'm saying? You might not see him and you won't see him. So think about it like that. Quetzalcoatl. So when they said he would come from the east, Cortez came from the east and damn near destroyed damn near 1,000 people within a few days of that shit happening after he killed the emperor. So 1722, okay, we got a little bit more good time. So with me saying all of that, it's saying this is already predestined and preordained to happen. So when they taught them Spanish, they damn near reverted to something that they reverted to something that the Moors taught them. The Moors taught the Spanish, or the people from Spain, Spanish. That's why they would call conquistadors or conquerors of the people of Mexico. Now, people of Mexico, that's not their original language, just like English isn't our original language. So, with that being said, that just goes to show you the lineage of how powerful melanated people really are, or how powerful our energy is, to the point where we can teach you something, and then years down the line, we'll get it back in another form. That just shows the power of knowing and looking at the dates and charting the stars and knowing when shit is about to happen. So we looking at 5,000 years to the exact date. So in this lines up exactly with what? Kemet or Egypt. Because it's this red, like I said before, reddish, orangish dirt you can find in Louisiana. And this is actual spot from Cartersville. If you go to the one in Poverty Point, Louisiana, look that up, it's damn near identical, a straight line. So everything is predestined, and I have family around that area. And I visit Poverty Point. My actually one of my, I feel like in my own land or own mine, I had visited or was there in years prior. So this is all predestined. I'm actually just this physical body is just a vehicle to get me there. But I've been here before. And I've seen all this before, and it's just coming back to me. So let me quit talking and get right to the puzzle. Get right to the point. All right, and you know what I'm saying. So what I'm out here to do is to close it out. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is scared. He's scared and scared. But remember, you say you worship a God. You know what I'm saying? You worship this motherfucker. You worship a motherfucker that's going to deliver you and give you all the riches and save you and all of this. No, you know what I mean? That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I am my own savior. You know what I'm saying? So the ancestors work through me if I am my ancestors. What do I need when motherfuckers gonna give me something through a book that's been taken, the parts of a book been taken out that I created, and they taking out parts of it, so I won't know who I am, or they won't know that there's a real situation that could happen. So revelation has always been in process. Just the thing is, you wasn't noticing it because they put it at the end of the book, so you can be looking forward to something. But it's always been in process. Okay, time don't exist. Only when we look at the calendar and when we look at the actual the arms ticking on the actual clock. All right. So energy passes through water, right? Well, energy never stops moving, and water never stops moving unless it's contained in a bottle or it's contained. Period. Right. All right. Now. Okay. So energy. That's where we at with it, right? Energy. Energy never stops moving when it's not contained. So you can't contain this big mass of body of water. And that goes the Red Mountain straight ahead. Right there, straight ahead, the Red Mountain right there. All right. So I have some things to do, and I must leave you. But I just recorded this, just to let you know the power of the day, the power of the day. I am supremely happy with how everything has been turning out. You know what I'm saying? I went through a lot to get to this spot, and a lot is a little. You know what I'm saying? On this physical form. But when you put everything into perspective and you look at what you've done, it's a lot in a physical form, but there's so much more I could be doing. You know what I'm saying? I know it was planned and plotted on a high level, but realize and know that this is the end. This will bring an end. It's been an end for a long matter of time. It's just that we wasn't privy or knowing of it. You know what I'm saying? Everything doesn't last forever. Time is in reverse. In order to know that, you must catch it. And to catch it, that means you have to make time not exist. And so when I made it exist, just to find out and to reach in to find out what date in the year, that's all that matters. When I've done that, now I can pull back out and know that, hey, I'm back to no time, because now that I've made something happen in a matter of a sequence that wasn't available to me, now time doesn't exist again after this shit. So I must leave you in 2 seconds. 23:23.